This conversation is taking place at the Grand Opera House.
We're talking with Rashmi Rangan, Executive Director of the Delaware Community Reinvestment Action Council. Rashmi, what's DCRAC?
Delaware Community Reinvestment Action Council, or DCRAC as we fondly call ourselves, is a nonprofit organization in the state of Delaware that was founded to ensure that Delawareans would have equitable treatment and equal access to credit and capital. So our focus has been consumer finance in Delaware.
Well, the creation of an organization like that seems to suggest that everybody's not getting equal access, or there wouldn't be that organization.
That is indeed the case, and it was the case in 1987 when we were founded. Jim Sills was the chairperson. There was a study done by University of Delaware students that found effectively that there was some redlining in Delaware. So mortgage was not equitably accessible to everyone. And our success, or the real impact that our organization made in its very infancy, was to get Delawareans equitable access to mortgage finance. And then there's so much more work that still needs to be done.
Such as what? I mean, if they now have access, what more can you do?
Well, economy changed over the last 24 years. So while there was equal access regardless of your race to mortgages, we were also seeing that there was a disparate lending going on. So there were protected classes that were receiving those toxic mortgages. They were adjustable rate loans. They were interest only with a balloon payment in 40 years. So it became unequal again. And much of that was we kept our eye on advocacy and on the financial institutions, and we raised the concerns as we saw them to the appropriate regulators. But in this mortgage crisis, and I'll focus on mortgage crisis, in the mortgage crisis, really everyone was asleep. We all know that the homeowner did not act alone, right? The homeowner applied for a mortgage, but there were so many other industries that were complicit in causing a crisis. Now it is a crisis of confidence. So today we need to rebuild confidence amongst Delawareans, amongst Delaware's financial institutions, and amongst the regulators.
Everybody says the banks have plenty of money, but they're not lending it now.
That is true.
Not just to protected classes, but not to anybody.
That's true. And it is all because we have no confidence in our future. We do not know what tomorrow will bring. And when you have that kind of uncertainty, then you certainly do not want to take on debt. So jobs become a major issue.
Yeah, how far can this kind of citizen activism push till you get policy changes, till things actually become different?
Well, obviously, citizens need to constantly be vigilant and continue citizens' activism. The Occupy movement is all about pushing the boundaries, demanding equity relative to all these toxic products that really are sold to the poor people who can't possibly pay the 900% APR interest rate. Our activism led to the creation of consumer financial protection bureaus. And true, who would not want these kind of toxic players to be regulated or watched over? Apparently, there are some people who don't care for regulation of these players. Otherwise, we would have a director nominated, confirmed, because as soon as we have the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau director, all of these fringe financial products get some form of regulation. At the moment, particularly in Delaware, There is no law that is broken if you've gotten a 900% APR loan. So for a consumer, there is no relief. Or whom do they call and say, can you do something? So we need the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Our work is never over. Our activism will continue. We need policy changes. Policy needs to recognize that sound practices require oversight of moral hazard, because that's what caused us to be in the crisis that we are in at every level. So our work is never over.
You're connected with Content Delaware.